Let's go. Let's go. Higher and higher. You just feel me with holy fire. Everybody sing along. Higher.
Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. How are you doing? I'm so happy to have you with us today on the show. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be power packed. So please call your friends, your loved ones, and everyone that you know needs to hear what we're going to share today. And you will soon find out what we're going to talk about. Yes. So, if you're joining us from anywhere around the world, just go ahead and let us know your location. I would like to know, are you joining us from Africa, from Europe, wherever? Just type it in the comments and we will respond to you. And yes, I can see some people are already on. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, on this show, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and in your relationships. So, today is going to be another one of such experiences where we will be downloading and discussing and dissecting some real critical issues that will help you in your relationships. Have you been struggling with anything? You can ask about it and we will answer you. You know, we have these topics every week, but the fact is, if you have any question, even if it is off topic, you are free to ask. In fact, you are welcome to ask on the show and we will respond. We're always happy to help. Yes, my name is Anietie Bature. I'm a relationship coach and counselor. Yes, and I love helping people get it right in their relationships from the word go. Because if the foundation is right, then everything else is going to be smooth sailing to a great extent, compared to if you just jumped in or rushed in without doing your due diligence. And with me on the show today is my dear husband and co-host, Kingsley Bature.
Hello, everyone, and as usual, I'm happy to be here. I like hosting things with her. We have been hosting together for 17 years plus. And of course, it's the weekend of Valentine, right? So
Yes.
I have to mention that we have been valing together. So when we say host, we have different hostilities that we have done together. Yes, for a number of years. So I feel like I always like being with her, right? I like being with her. That's why we can't go anywhere else. After 17 years plus, of course, you know that you are not going anywhere else. We are stuck. We are in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it's interesting. It's good to be here, and I particularly like the topic that we are dealing with this weekend. I like the topic. It's one that I enjoy because it's if you get it right, if you get it right,
Yeah.
it will be very, very easy to end all of this talk about how can we know who is real these days? People like to pretend. If you get it right, you'll be able to deliver yourself from both the pretenders and the attenders. And then you can stick with the person that is real. But in order to know who is real, you first have to know if you are real.
Yeah. That's a nice nice way to capture it. For you to know who is real, you have to know if you are real. And really, for you to know if you are real is that you have to know yourself.
Yes.
If not, you're just going to be doing anyhow, because
and down.
you really don't know. You haven't taken the
Yeah.
time to do your own self-discovery. It's really important to discover yourself. So if somebody says, okay, why do you do this? Or why do you behave like that? Can you give an explanation? Can you tell the person this is the reason? Or are you going to start saying, well, I don't know, I just do it. Oh, well, I don't. You should be able to explain what is it about you. You should be able to say, why do you act the way you do? You should be able to give some background to the personality that you are. So it's really important. And knowing yourself is also really crucial because it will help you to know the kind of person that you will sync with. It will also help you to know how to relate with other people better. So even if you're not planning to marry somebody, just understanding yourself will help you know, okay, if I am like this and I meet somebody that is this other way, then I will need to adjust this way or do that or avoid this or do more of that, you know? So it's just the way it is. So for instance, you're an introvert, you don't really like speaking, you prefer to just do your work in quiet and stuff. And in an office setting, for instance, you work with a boss who is outspoken and loves to speak and expects other people to be vocal and views people that are vocal as better or more intelligent or more responsible and stuff like that. It means that if you know yourself, you know, okay, this is this about me. Okay, yes. But this is what my boss expects. All right. Okay. So what do I want to do about this situation? And then you'll be able to tell yourself, okay, while I am with this boss, I need to step out of my shell, do this, and get the accolades. Rather than, oh, well, it's just the way I am. And then everybody should accept me as I am. And then your career suffers. Yeah. So it's really important for you to know yourself. So,
And that's why the topic for today
yeah.
is finding me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Finding me. That's quite an interesting topic because it brings to the fore everything that we have been talking about.
Yeah.
Finding me, finding yourself. What makes you tick, right? What makes you tick? What makes you who you are? Do you
Yeah.
understand? When people come in contact with you, are they really meeting you or are they just meeting a facade? When they come in contact with you, are they meeting you or are they meeting a facade? Are they talking to Kingsley or are they talking to pseudo Kingsley? Do you understand? Because sometimes a lot of us feel like sometimes people know who they are, but in order to fit in to maybe a certain class or a certain cloud or a certain group, we tend to become somebody else so that we can fit in.
Yeah.
So, who are people talking to when they meet you? Are they talking to the person that is trying to fit in, or are they talking to the person that really is? And we are trying to draw a relationship between this and your relationship with others, your relationship life. Because a discovery of yourself
Yeah.
is directly related to the success of your relationship with another person.
Yeah. Very important. Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So we need to look at it. How do I know?
You know, something important to note is this thing you have said about you knowing yourself
Yeah.
being crucial
Yeah.
to how you relate with or the success of your relationship with another person. You know, if you know yourself, then you will be able to tell me and this person is impossible.
Confirm.
Do you understand? So that's in fact you will save yourself a lot of time, right? By knowing yourself up front. So that by the time people are coming your way, prospects are coming, you can from a distance say, that one, Mbano, it cannot work. So let's not even waste 2 months going on dates to try to know ourselves, trying to find out about it. Let's not even bother. That you can save yourself so much time if you just know yourself. And the fact is, if you have taken time to discover yourself, that process of discovering yourself is also you equipping yourself to be able to decode others. Because you would have known what to pay attention to, what to look out for, the things that help you to say this about somebody. So, for instance, somebody will say, "Oh, you act like this in this situation, and see how you responded to that other thing." And normally, when you're in the midst of people or something, this is how you behave. By the time you do all those deductions, then you come up with something about yourself. You will also be able to pay attention to somebody else and say, "I've noticed this about this guy. When he's here, he does this. That's what he did in the other place. The other day when this thing happened, this is how he reacted." And you start to deduce, just like the same process you went through when you were trying to get to know yourself. So it's really important. You save yourself a lot of time if you know yourself up front, because you can tell from a distance who will work with you and who will not work, so that you don't even bother.
I like where this is going, right? Because it begins to help us know the reason why it's important to find yourself. And last week we began to speak about the core.
Yeah.
Right? We began to speak about the core. Some people say, when we were talking last week, and then we had two guests on the show, two singles, two young people, a guy and a lady, and they're talking about what it is they are looking for when they're talking about a life partner, a successful relationship. They talked about those things, but you began to mention about the core.
Yeah.
And the truth is, from what you deduced last week, if you've not watched last week's episode, the link is on this video on YouTube or Facebook. The link is there. You can just click the link and watch it. But without going back, one of the things you mentioned is that people might change. Certain things about people might change. Someone is single. Now they are married. By the time they drop 2 children or 3 children, certain things about them may change. Those are physique, right? So certain things about a person may change, but the core of the person is not likely to change through the course of their lives.
Yeah.
Because those are matters of conviction. Those are foundational issues. If you change those things, you are inadvertently changing the person. So what are those things? So when you spoke about the core, what are those things that people can take and say, okay, these are the things that I need to look at when I'm checking for my core. Do I have this? What are these things for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the first one I would like to talk about is values and beliefs, right? Values and beliefs, really important. And the fact is, there's something that makes somebody decide to do something. What is the driver for how you respond to life? What is the driver for how you act? What is the driver for the decisions you make, the choices you make? Your values and beliefs, very crucial. And these are formed over time, right? From early childhood, those begin to take shape. Values, your beliefs. And in fact, you might come to the point where maybe you have a major experience, a major encounter. Example, let's say you give your life to Christ, and you now decide, okay, I'm going to live the way God wants me to, and then you start to adapt and to change and to try to align yourself with what the core is, right? So those things are important because it's what this person is. And it is these values that, if this is what is guiding his decisions today, this is what will continue to guide the decisions tomorrow, unless there's another major shift. Now, those major shifts don't happen every day. It's not like, oh, I want to change the color of the paint in my house. Do you understand? I want to change it from pink to gold, for instance. It's those things you can easily just wake up. But you can't wake up and say, oh, I want my duplex to now become a bungalow. Do you understand? So it's like, if you marry a duplex, you've married a duplex, especially in a place where people have to follow approvals by government and stuff like that, building codes and stuff. You can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I need to make more use of vertical space. This house is a duplex. I want to now make it 4 floors. In fact, I want to turn it to a skyscraper. You will have to break down the whole thing and and start again from the foundation. So that's like an example of what core is versus other stuff. Okay, so
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want everyone that is here to go to the comment. What are some of the things that you think are core to you? What are
Yeah.
some of the things you think are foundational
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah.
A bungalow cannot become a duplex. They have very, very different foundational issues which you have raised. So if you married a bungalow, don't wake up tomorrow and try and be expecting a duplex from him.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And vice versa. Okay? So go to the chart. Tell us what are some of the things that are core to you. My wife has mentioned beliefs
And values.
and values, and those are very interesting
Yeah.
things. There's another one you want to give.
Yes, there is a personality, and of course, this is the traits. Of course, like, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? You know, what? How do you work? What's your emotional stability like? You know, there's stuff like, and you know, when you talk about personalities, of course, you start looking at the popular ones where you're talking about, is he sanguine? Is he melancholic? Is he phlegmatic? And so on. You know, it will just help you to understand what is it about me. So, for instance, I found out I think, Melsan back then. So melancholic was stronger than sanguine, right? And you could tell, oh, I see, this is why I am creative. This is why I had serious mood swings back then. You know, this is why sometimes I can be the life of the party, even though I wasn't really going for parties, but I was the life of whatever event I went for. Do you understand? And so on. It just helps. And this is why I was very analytical and stuff like that, still very analytical and stuff like that. So these are important things about you, right? And somebody who wants to interact with you can now tell, okay, this is this person. You know, back then, just for fun, we and our friends would gather and say, okay, let's do personality tests. What are you? What are you? What are you? And then we start discussing it. Oh, that's why you do this. And oh, that's why you do that. Exactly. So, for instance, you would know, I don't need a choleric in my space. I can't stand somebody who's going to be trying to dictate to me how I should act, what I should say, whether I should speak or not. Somebody who just wants to be in charge. No, no, no. Do you understand? So when you understand those things about yourself, then you can also tell, I don't want this other kind of person. And, you know, in some of these, they're quite interesting, doing personality tests and stuff. Sometimes they try to let you know, okay, who are what are the traits that go best together? And sometimes also you can find out how to work well with any of the others. Because people tend to think, oh, if I am this, it means I cannot marry that, you know. But if you are so emotionally mature, you can actually come to the point where you are able to live with any of the others. You just know how to behave around this one, what to do, what to adjust, and so on. Yeah. So those personality traits are important.
Those traits are really interesting, because even in my practice, in family life engineering,
Yeah.
when you come into any of our sessions, so as a consultant, if you walk into my office, there are 4 critical tests that I will give you every time you walk in. You know, whatever we are going to discuss, by the time you do those 4 tests, I have an inkling, I have an idea, I have almost a perception, right,
Of who you are.
Of who you are. Do you understand? When I do those 4 tests, and personality test is one of them. The second one is what we call the beliefs assessment test. I won't give you the 4, I'll just give you 2. The personality test and the beliefs assessment test. When I do the
Interesting.
beliefs assessment test, I can tell what are the things that are matters of conviction. And you know, the interesting thing about this test, right? The interesting thing about this test is that they give you a sense of who the person is. Simple questions. For example, who is superior between a man and a woman? Is a simple question. But the answer to that question will tell you what has formed the person that you are speaking to. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we can ask another simple question, right? Who should have the final say on any matter in a relationship between a man and a woman? Who should have the final say?
Interesting. You're looking for trouble.
Oh, no. I'm just no. These are questions we ask that look like they are just open or simple questions. I think it's a simple question.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But that you'll be surprised to find out that if we ask that question now to the online and say, okay, everybody online, who should have the final say on any matter in a relationship between a man and a woman? Let me see the answers that I will get
Okay,
online.
let's see the answers.
Let's see the answers.
Yeah,
So
and while
if
those
you're-
answers are coming in, we can look at some of the comments that we've had so far.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That Amoranza says, happy weekend, everyone.
Hi,
happy
Amoranza.
weekend to you too. Happy
Happy
Valentine.
Valentine's,
Happy Valentine, right?
Yeah, Queen Debbie says the topic reminds me of a movie I watched today on Harvesters International TV YouTube channel today. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Interesting.
Was it titled Finding Me Too? Dara Benny.
Hi, Dara
Hi,
Benny.
Dara Benny. Hi, Dara Benny. Okay, so that's fantastic. You see, so I need to see your comment. You guys are a bit quiet today. What's happening? Is it
Is it Valentine blues?
Is it Valentine blues?
Is it that somebody did not get roses?
Or somebody didn't give you flowers? They didn't give you flowers. Okay. Why we on
Why
this
are we waiting
matter?
for the answers?
But before the answers come, the director has just said that we need to go for a break, and we will be back
All right.
after the break. You know that song never gets old. That song never gets old. It never gets old. I love what you guys did with it with Goke. It's quite an inspiring song. So every
Yeah.
time I hear it, you almost find yourself, bouncing to one side, bouncing to one side. Has a particular groove to it.
Yeah, it's just that
it
kind.
feel good. and
Just going. It's
just
cool and all of that.
tells all that God is doing, and fantastic song. I wanted to give them gist. Some answers are already coming in, but I wanted to give them gist. Yesterday, let me tell you guys what happened yesterday, and this still paints my picture, the picture I was telling you about the fact that in order to discover yourself, you need to find, in order to have a successful relationship, you need to discover yourself, what is at the core, and then you'll be able to identify it with someone else. Let me tell you a story. Interesting story happened yesterday. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, right? And normally, we don't celebrate Valentine in our family. We don't do Valentine. If you feel like, yeah, but there's no. But guess what happened? Guess what happened? I didn't get her a gift, or so she thought. So while I was in the office, I had a busy day, but in the midst of the day, I just, felt like that something just, felt like, the Holy Spirit just, push me, bro, just do something. I said, I have too many appointments. But after one of the appointments, I just entered a shop, got her a perfume, crested a message on the perfume, and told them they should deliver it in the evening. And then I went back to work. By the time I got to the office, I just saw she was sending me gifts, sent me like 2 different package of gifts. I said, oh, Diego, do you understand? Well, but I mean, and so by the time I went there, by the time I finished from the office, I went home carrying my 2 gifts that she sent me, and I got home. When I got to this, you can see this laugh. People know this laugh. If you are, when you marry, you understand this laugh. Yes. So when I got home, as I got home, I saw her, right? But I knew that there was something about the way she was looking. See, listen. I understand my wife. See, I know myself. Then I understand her at her core. Eh? Something was not right. Even though she was keeping a straight face. So the outside looked like it's a straight face, nothing is wrong, everything is okay. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Are you fine? Yes, I'm fine. Everything. But I know her at the core. See, if it's for my wife, part of her values, if it's not good, it's bad. See, you can't paint it. See, if it's not good, it's bad. What is bad is bad. That's my wife. So when I noticed I knew that something is not good. Means something is going bad. So in my mind, I started pressing buttons. Where are these people that I asked to deliver this thing in the house and all of that? But long story short,
Finally.
while I was eating my food, doing as if I didn't know anything is wrong, because I've asked what is wrong, and she said nothing is wrong, everything is fine. So finally, the dispatch guy came, and they brought the gift, and they gave her. You needed to see how her face changed. Her whole countenance just changed. And of course, at that point, my voice became louder.
Yes,
you understand?
yes.
So
Time
my voice
came
became
out.
louder, and I began to tell her all the different parts of the gift. You know, the things they put inside, this one, that one, that one. So I also let her know that a lot of thoughts
I went into it.
into it. So it wasn't just like the thing just happened because no. A lot of thoughts went into it, and even the selection process. I for explain tire. Do you understand? But my point is, if I didn't get her a gift, if I didn't get her a gift, I don't know how that yesterday would
You
have
would have
been.
been in trouble. You'd have gone to a banner by 9.
I don't know how that yesterday would have been.
Because I don't think I would have been able to just keep quiet about it until.
But you see, the emphasis, faith says, Sana, God save you. It's true. This one, I can't take the glory, but God help me. But the point I was trying to make is that at her core, she is a straight person. At her core, if it's not good, it's bad. And this thing that happened at the surface just looked like, oh, it's okay. No wahala, it's fine. It's fine. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Are you? Yeah. But at the core, I know something is not right. So,
by the way, the only reason I was okay is because I was just being patient, hoping that probably there's something. So let me not just assume that he didn't actually get a gift.
but at the core,
But
At the
that
core.
patience would have eventually finished.
which brings me back to my point, because the whole issue of identity is being able to identify someone at the core.
Yeah.
So at the core, by the time I walked in and I met you, I knew something
was wrong,
off
yes.
from the core. So even though you were pretending, which is where I'm coming to say that when people come and tell you, oh, a lot of people pretend these days, you can't know. At the core, do you understand? You can spot the core of a person. But if you don't know the core of the person, when they are pretending, you will think it's normal. So we talk about being able to read the signs, right? That's a skill that you must have.
Yeah.
You must be able to read the signs. That's part of identifying yourself. You must be able to know when I'm having a mood swing. You must be able to know when, okay, what is wrong with me now? I'm not talking a lot. It is because I'm hungry. When I am hungry, I just have a bad temper. You must know. It's not that anytime people touch you, you just flare up. No. You know that I'm flaring up because I am hungry. When I'm hungry, I have a bad temper. And so if you know that about yourself, so this is what I call reading the signs. So you must read the signs, read yourself, look at yourself, know yourself. You know, I like that quote in Latin that says, know thyself. For me, that's very critical.
Yeah.
In self-discovery, in finding who you are. Know yourself.
Yeah.
Who are you? What are the things that govern the behaviors that you exhibit?
Yeah.
When you know it, if you can read your own signs, it becomes a little easier to read the signs other people are showing.
Yeah.
Some people can walk into the room and they see everybody, and they see somebody feeling sad, they see somebody upset. They see some people can't even tell the difference in the faces. There's this thing that we have when in psychology. They just show you a screen with different kinds of emoji, and then they ask you to spot what the emoji is showing. That was an interesting class for me, because you have to look at, oh, this is sad, this is shy, this is angry, this is this. Well, I'm not sure about this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But it's paying attention. It's called reading the signs.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Should I tell you thank you for sharing that story? Or I should tell you thank you for helping our relationship yesterday?
But you see, being able to identify that call is led to a very effective relationship.
Yes,
because
yes,
after that time, it wasn't one answer I was getting. I was getting long sentences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He helped himself and he helped us. Because honestly, last, both of us, out of love, I will accompany you so that you won't come back and say you didn't know what to buy. We would have gone together. Okay. Okay, all right. So just in case you haven't yet shared this link, please go ahead and share. If you are enjoying the conversation, like this video, like this this content, and if you have not yet subscribed to our channel or you're not yet following us on our handles, please also do so. Okay, so let's see. We have some of the answers that you asked for. Let's see. Okay, these are answers about the gifts. Starting from, meanwhile, somebody's accusing you of being Jehovah's Witness.
What did I do now?
Because you said you don't celebrate Valentine in your family.
You said, somebody says,
okay, Dara Benny.
Dara Benny says, the man should be in charge, not to be demanded. Okay, the man should be in charge, not to be demanded, but to be earned. Okay? Okay, there was a comment from Queen Debbie before that. Yeah. Faith said, Queen says, no, it's called You May Only Kiss the Bride.
Okay, that's the name of the movie.
The movie that
she watched.
You May Only Kiss the Bride. Yeah.
Then Faith
says, the husband is the head and should have the final say in the home. Okay? We are going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this, but we'll finish this and we'll talk about this. He says, Jay's Empire said, we are finding very... Jay, why are you like this? He said, are you Jehovah's Witness? Why don't you do Valentine?
because and that was just because we felt like, hey, we're expressing love every day.
Every other day.
So we don't need a special day to and stuff like that. But yeah,
Martin said, you for no give the gift now. That food fit choke you. You didn't take levels. Bad people up and down. Faith says, sir, now God save you. I know. I acknowledge it wholeheartedly. Queen Debbie said, thank God you gave Mommy KB gift. We would have given you side eyes. In fact, bombastic side eyes. Moranze said, patience was running down. Yes. Nothing to recharge it.
Honestly, serious one.
Jay's Empire. So we that was waiting for movie ticket and we didn't get. It was for Livewire people. Jay, I'm sorry. It was for Livewire singles. Jay, I hear you are married. With evidence to show.
Yes.
So it's Livewire people. I'm sorry. Livewire singles, they got the ticket. And Faith said, this is the part where we sing, thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. You guys are interesting. Right. You guys are interesting.
Okay. So I should go through a few more of the core things, right? Before we now come to answer that question.
About the husband should be the head on all matters. Okay.
All right. So I'll quickly go through them. The next one is life experiences. And really, you need to understand why this is important. What people experience in their life or in their lives affects or determines to a great extent who they are, how they turn out. And you know, it may flip people one way or the other, right? So you need to understand those things about people, and you actually need to look at yourself too and say, what is it about my life? What are my experiences and how have they affected me? Do you understand? So typical example, I lost my father when I was really young. My mom had to take care of the whole family. And what that has done to me is to tell me that you must be an independent woman. You must be financially capable. You cannot hear story. Do you understand? Because there are so many things that could have gone wrong if my mom wasn't able to take care of us. From becoming a house help for somebody, to possibly not having a proper education, to possibly being exposed to all kinds of abuse. I mean, or being separated from my siblings because I have to go and stay with a family in hope that they will educate me and stuff. I mean, a lot of rubbish could have happened, but my mother was able to take care of us. So, yes, so that's how experience can form somebody or shape somebody. So you need to be able to look at that. Some people, the same experience can push them to the other extreme, you know. So you need to understand that about yourself. Think about your life. What are my experiences? How have they influenced me? How have they shaped me? Who I am today, what influenced it. So you need to understand those things so that you understand your convictions. And so if somebody comes to you, for instance, to say, Anietie, you are the most beautiful woman in the world and I want you to be my wife. I'm like, okay, all right. And the person say, but I have this condition. I'm like, what's the condition? You will never work. You cannot do anything outside the home. I am going to be your source and sustainer and provider and everything because I love you so much. I'm going to be like, oh, that love is so wonderful. But no. Do you understand?
But you know, there are people that do not mind that will
Of
not
course
mind
now,
that.
and it's okay. It's okay not to mind. In fact, some people may say, you know what, I don't mind. I won't work. Okay, that's fine. But just give me like a very huge amount of money and put it in a trust, and then the money is coming from there every month or something. You know, that different ways to make it work. But my experience informed my conviction. So that's why you really need to check what are the experiences that people have had. Another one is purpose and goals. What's someone's purpose? What are their goals? Because some people, you will just say, okay, I have this deep feeling or this conviction. This is my purpose. This is what I came here to do. Do you understand? Let me use a typical example. Somebody says, my purpose is to make sure that Nigeria has a recycling system. I know it's not happening right now, but I'm convinced about it that they are starting from scratch to build everything. And so you're seeing this person, you know, really involved in things like clearing garbage, recycling from the roots, all sorts, right? And you may be saying, I want somebody who is clean, who is prim and proper, who every time smells fresh, doesn't have anything to do with trash. So you're expecting that this person is going to be all that, and the person is telling you, sorry, this is my purpose. Do you understand? This is my purpose, and this is what I'm going to do. And they're doing something really crucial for Nigeria.
And interestingly, in this place that you're speaking about purpose, what highlights to me is the fact that we have two things from two different people probably clashing. The reason you probably like that prim and proper kind of person is probably because of your upbringing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you were brought up in a certain way, prim and proper. The other person is rough and rugged. The other person is rough and rugged, and that's because of his, you see, that's because of his purpose. So your upbringing is clashing with his purpose. Those are core things.
Yes, those
Do
are
you
core-
understand?
yes,
So these are two core things.
That's why the
So-
discussions are so
so
important.
because
Because-
in relationships, discussions, conversations
Yeah.
about core issues
Yeah,
are so important.
exactly.
Purpose and upbringing, they
Yeah.
are core issues.
Yeah. And you know, funny enough, these are things that they ask even when you're doing a job interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your life about? What are your passion? You know, some of those things. But somebody will get into a relationship and they have gone all out. They have not even started talking about purpose, ambitions, passion, and so on. You need to actually have these discussions. If not, you may find that there's a significant clash. So what do? Somebody tells you my ambition is to be a travel blogger, meaning I'm not actually going to have a stable, steady one, that kind of one place home. Like Nigeria is my base, my family's base, because they're always on the move. And in fact, they are even hoping that as their children come along, they will also become, for instance, family life bloggers. Do you understand?
Meaning that
It's-
their children are going to probably be part of their online
yeah, so in
profile.
other words, our kids will be moving with us, we'll homeschool on the move, and stuff like that. And they are really excited about it when they're talking about it. Like, we'll see different countries in the world, we'll be in China.
Meanwhile,
we'll be-
you want your children to be here
Meanwhile,
when you
you
come
are
back
like,
home. When you come back home, you want to see your children.
Yeah, meanwhile, you are feeling like Nigeria is the place. I cannot see myself living outside Nigeria. Nigeria. Do you understand? Just imagine something like that. That's a significant clash. But if you don't discuss it and you're just like, oh, we love spending time with each other so much, we love just going to new places, and the new places might just be in Nigeria because that's where the person is at the moment. So what's going to happen when the person starts to try to realize their ambition of being a travel blogger, or bringing their family into their, family, and you're like, I don't want to be on camera. I'm a very private person.
I don't
And
want
the
my
person-
children to be on camera.
Yeah, but the person is like, come on, this is going to give me followers. I mean, look at her, she's so cute. The world wants to see her. Talking about their baby, and the guy is like, no way. And the woman is like, but she's so cute. I want the world to see. Bottom line, clash.
Irreconcilable
Yes.
differences.
So you need to pay attention to these things, please. Don't take it for granted.
So it means it.
Yeah.
There's a statement I usually say, and then when I say it, it sounds like, oh, we are trying to be very controversial. But I say it this way, and maybe I'll tweak it a bit. I said, people don't get married, values do. It's values that get married. People have a wedding. Do you understand? Values get married. People have a wedding. If the values do not align and the people have a wedding, the marriage is going to be short-lived. The marriage is going to be short-lived because it is the values that actually hold the marriage at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's why part of the things that we usually ask when we say, oh, in finding you, every man that is on this planet, one of the things that every man on this planet must have is somebody that they submit to. Every man must have someone that they do what? That they submit to. Maybe it's someone, maybe it's something. They must have an authority.
So is this where faith comes in?
So to some, it is faith. To some, it is spirituality. To some, it is Ogun. To some, it is something. But there must be something that every man submits to. Maybe a deity, maybe his God. If you find a man that tells you he submits to no one, run. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's not to stay and find out why he submits to no one. No. If he submits to no one, there's nobody of authority in his life that you can call, that you can say, oh, this is the person he submits to, run. Number two, if you now find who he submits to or what he submits to, and it doesn't align with your own, take a step back.
In fact, run.
No, I will say run, because take a step back, because he's in that place for a season of his life.
Well, yeah, but if it's someone, no problem. But if it is
Something.
the person he says is his God, and there's no alignment,
That's why I
I'm
said
out.
that's why I said step
I'm out.
back.
So, for instance, I mean, apart from all the wonderful things about you, the core thing that made me say, okay, I think we can do life together was your faith, right?
Oh.
Because, I screened a number of things about you, right?
screened.
But one of the things that I saw that was there was a lot of alignment there was just your faith, right? So from the beginning, I could see that, yes, you love God. You were not just a Christian aspire, you go to church, but you were living the life. You were on that journey of finding God and pleasing Him. And you were living your life according to what the scripture said. Do you understand? So while most of the other things checked out and were fantastic, this was really important because he told me that as we go through life and we face different things, even the things that we do not know about, do not anticipate, have never experienced before, and so on, I knew that your decisions would be in line with the scriptures, right? And that would, by default, be in line with my preferences. So I knew it would be okay. So no matter what life would throw, I was convinced, right, that we'll be okay because I know what you're going to decide. I know what you will decide about the critical things. Because again, it's not going to be every single thing that you will align on. But the critical things, I know that the choice will be in line with the scriptures, and as long as it is, I'll be fine. Do you understand? The other things that are little things like what should we eat? Come on, we can eat. That's not a problem. But things like who do we worship? Do you understand? Or how do we raise our children? You know, things like that. They're in the scripture. What do we do when we are faced with, let's say, an opportunity to cheat, to get more money, and we are broke? I don't have to worry what the answer will be. I know that we would rather go hungry and turn it to fasting than change figures because we want to enrich ourselves. Do you understand? So it's as simple as that.
Those are core issues.
So faith is core. Faith is crucial. Very important. So when you're but he's so kind, he's so wonderful, like the way he treats me. In fact, even some of the people of our faith are not treating me that way. And then you now try to justify it away.
When the rubber hits the road,
you will
it
see
is
something.
that faith that will determine how he will treat you next.
Yeah. So you need to pay attention. What are you about? Who's the authority over you? Who's the authority over the person? And
I'm glad you didn't say one of the reasons why is that I go to church.
No, it's not about going to church now. Because I mean, you can go to church and it's by their fruits. It's not by where they go.
I remember last week somebody said the fruits now have turned to juice.
Smoothie. I've to smoothie. You can't tell.
Smoothie, you can't tell what it is. Do you understand? So please make sure when you are interacting with people, don't be tasting smoothie. Look for fruit. You tell the person, say, I can't find fruit here. Where is the fruit? Look for fruit. Don't look for smoothie. You know, there's something we're going to share at the end of this. It's something that we're coming up with as we begin to close down. It's something that we're coming up with. It's something from Broken Walls Foundation, and it's like an empowerment scheme for singles, young people that are already doing business. We want to take you through some things that can give you a grant on how to improve your business in this Tinubu economy, something to empower you and help you even upscale your business and, you know, help you thrive in this fantastic economy that we are in. Somebody sent me something. He said that it's like they are considering putting Tinubu as a word in the dictionary. He said one of the words is, there's a verb form, there's a noun form to be Tinuburized. I was like, where are people getting? Where are they getting all these things? As Nigerians, Nigerians, we can make anything to a joke. I mean, that was I was like, that's interesting.
Okay, so do you want to answer that question about the final authority?
You see, this matter of the final authority. Okay, let me answer it now.
But if you answer it now, won't you be giving expo to all the people that will come for your session later? They will now know what to write.
Which is?
No, anyway, go ahead.
No, I can answer it. And see, listen, that question that I asked is one question out of 25.
Okay, all right.
So, the interesting thing is when we are doing assessment, is the data you give us that we use to assess. However, inside the questions we are asking, we have added shadows. So even if you get it if you say what you think I want to hear here, you won't even know what I want to hear in the
In
other
the other
place,
one,
because the
yeah.
questions are not following themselves.
I see.
That's the way they are designed.
Okay.
So this question that I'm about to answer, in the 25 questions I will give you, I ask it in another way, in another different setting.
Okay.
So
Alright.
by the time I am doing your report and I
Okay.
see that the two answers clash, I can tell that, bro, either you're trying to sell me a cookie or you don't even know the answer.
Okay. All right.
All right. So let me answer that question. In belief assessment, who should be the final authority on any matter in a relationship? I know you can argue with me. You can argue with me. I know, especially church people, they will say the husband is the head of the house, so he should be the final authority, isn't it? Okay. Let me paint the picture with this story. Let me give the answer before I tell the story.
Okay.
The final authority on any matter in a relationship should be the person that has the best experience, knowledge, or understanding about that matter. Let me say it a different way. Let me give you an example. Finances. Who is the person in the relationship that is a better manager of finances? That is able to take 30 naira and turn it to 60 naira. Okay. That is able to take the least 2K and make it sufficient to what 5 to 10K would have done. Who is the best in the relationship? If you guys have been together, you can tell between both of yourself. You can know when you are just the one that just, you are spending, you are frivolous. You can also know when, if I give her 2K, it will cook pot of soup. It means that when the matters of finances come, even if I am the head of the house, for the benefit, if I'm the head of the house and I'm a spendthrift like I used to be before, I was Father Christmas Pro Max. Do you understand? So if you gave me the key to the bank of the house, don't worry, by the time you come, I would have shared it, everywhere. And it is when you now say, but we have this need, this need, this need. That's when I realize, oops. Oh, but this other person had need. Now this other person had need. This other. Are you understand what I'm saying? Who is the more experienced person? I didn't say the more spiritual person. I said the more experienced. Is the spiritual person not important? Yes, it is important. The spiritual person can give you direction on matters of finances. The person that has the more understanding should be the final authority. Why do I say that? I'll tell you a story. 2 planes are about to take off at the airport. 2 planes. The first plane, they tell you that the person driving the first plane,
Flying
the first plane, is a Muslim. Let me not even use a Muslim. He's an atheist. Does not believe in God. But he has 30 years of flying experience. And in that 30 years of flying experience, he has never crashed once. Second plane, he's a tongue-talking, Bible-believing, demon-chasing, powerful man of God in the second plane, driving the second plane. But he has been flying the plane for just 1 month. And in that 1 month that he has been flying the plane, he has crashed 2 times. He has had like 3 runway incidents. Somehow he has survived. But the other people, we can't say the same thing about the other people that were in the plane. Which of the plane will you enter? Please give me your answer in the comment section. Which of the plane will you enter? Do you understand? Just tell me, give me your answer. Which plane will you enter? That's where experience and expertise comes into play in a relationship. So the fact that the person is the man of the house, he could be stupid with finances. He could be dumb about how to manage finance. He could be the one earning the best money, but he may have no understanding of investment and how to make the money grow. So should he be the final authority on finances in your relationship? Of course, no.
Yeah. So, but you know, because I know you like trouble. You like controversy.
No, now you can't say that. I'm a very peace-loving
Yeah,
somebody.
right. Okay, wait,
Peace-loving.
okay, hold on. When it comes to the matter of the man being the head of the home, especially in our Christian context, right? Now, when you say final say, it's like, oh, whatever it is, he has the final say. But I think that headship is still there, right? For the sake of order and government, headship is still there. But it is wisdom for the head to delegate certain responsibilities and certain decisions when they know that somebody else is better equipped for that particular decision or for that particular task. So the delegating or asking somebody else to on this case, what do you think? Okay, all right, we'll do that. You know, or hey, concerning this matter, you're the expert here. What do you think? In fact, there are some times where you have to seek advice from the children.
Exactly.
Because on that matter, they know
They
more.
know more.
They'll give you the correct information and then you guys make a decision,
informed
right?
decision.
Yes. So that way you always win. The family always wins. So one thing that is beautiful about this is that everybody's opinion, you make the most of the resources you have. The wife brings her wisdom, the husband brings his wisdom, the children bring their wisdom, and the family, the decision is made that favors everybody. So it's not about, I'm the head of the house.
But you,
Do
you
you
know
understand?
the reason why I used the head of the house deliberately,
I know.
because the question was actually who has the final say.
Yeah.
So the head of the house does not always need to have the
Final
final
say,
say,
yes.
because on certain matters the head of the house may be ignorant. So
Unless his final say is, yes, my darling wife, that was fantastic. Or, yes, my children, you people have opened our eyes to a different perspective and that works. The thing is, let the family win.
let the family win.
Yeah.
Let the family win, because
Yeah.
all these things about the head, is it a role or is it a position? Is it a function? So we mix those things up a lot of times. And so because we hear the Bible says he's the head of the family, when he's the head of the family, he's supposed to think for the family. And if you are a good thinker, you will know, you will have a SWOT analysis of yourself. You will know your strength, you will know your weakness. And a good head should be able to say, this thing is not my area of strength. That person's area, that's the person that is the area of strength here. What should we do in this? That's the person that has the
Yeah.
final say.
So when you're thinking, let the family win, you'll be thinking who's the best man for the job. Let the person handle it and let's be better off.
Faith asks, in a case where none of the couple are experienced about the matter, we have done a video about this before on one of our distance, where we spoke about an issue where both of us were hotly debating a matter, right? I think this one, the one that had to do about Nathan's, our first son, about which school he will go to. Both of us had very strong reasons about the matter, but we couldn't agree on which position should be taken. Guess what? We put the matter in a cooler for 2 weeks and we told ourselves, let's go and do more research. So number one, when both of you, what was that question again? When both of you, when none of the couple are experienced. Well, so in that case, we felt like we didn't have enough experience to make that decision.
Yeah. We had
So
done research, we had facts.
We had facts.
So what we
but
did was
didn't
now
have
to gather experience.
So we said for 2 weeks, keep the matter in the cooler. So number one, what you do is make it about the matter. Don't make it about each other. If you make it about each other, quarrel go cause fight. Right? Make it about the matter. Right? Number two, when you have put the matter in a cooler. Suspend the discussion on that matter. So you guys can discuss about every other thing except that matter. Give yourself time. That's number two. Give yourself time. So number one, make it about the matter. Number two, give yourself time. Number three, then go and talk to people that are more experienced than you are. Right? Seek experienced counsel. Remember, if you are making it about the matter, you won't need to say, I need to win, or it's my own that has to be this thing. You are not trying to, it's not a competition. It's that the family needs to win. So number 3, look for people that are more experienced. In our case, what we did, we went to talk to mentors, people that were experts in education, people that had
Yes.
children that had gone to
Those
this school,
schools, yes.
people that had children that had gone to the other school, and we gathered their experience. We were not keeping malice for the 2 weeks, so we gathered them. We are talking. In fact, if somebody raises that matter for any of us in the space of that 2 weeks, we just tell them, we are still having the distance. Between both of us, we won't raise the matter because it's a hot topic. So after the 2 weeks, we have done our research. We came back and sat down and opened the matter again, brought the experiences that we outsource from others into the matter. It was very easy to make a decision.
Yeah.
Is it time already? This one you're looking at me.
Yes, it is time. So I'll let you share the information you wanted to. But before you do that, I'll just quickly say this last one, which is very important. Culture. Culture is very critical.
Culture.
And a lot of times people neglect culture. And you need to understand that culture is part of what somebody grows with, right? So it forms the person to a great extent. And if you're expecting that somebody will adapt to your own culture, which in our context, most of the time, the women are expected to adapt to the man's culture, right? You have to start to inform her about it and let her know this is the expectation and stuff. I remember my sister, when she went to meet her husband's people, she had to tell him, tell me who I'll kneel down for, tell me who I will, all of those things. So she tell me how to address different people. He did that and everything went well. But in the case where you bring a Calabar babe to a Yoruba setting and then you just bring her without letting her know about the culture, she'll just walk in and stand and greet your people. Hello. Hi, auntie. Good afternoon, man. She's standing and looking at them, and they'll be like, hey! Because they're expecting she should maybe genuflect or kneel or something to the elders and stuff. So it's really important, please, because where you don't discuss it, it causes a lot of issues and people get upset, and the person who is coming into that space starts off on the wrong foot, and first impressions go a long way. They may just label her disrespectful, meanwhile she just didn't know the culture. So it's important to talk about it. If there are certain things that have to be done as part of your tradition that might be sensitive, please just be talking about it, so that if it's the kind of thing they need to run from, they will run, rather than get there and the whole thing becomes a disaster.
All right. Before I talk about the scheme that we developed, there's a statement that someone put up.
Okay.
It says, what about people who do not even talk about their genotype and go into a relationship for years, only to find out in the 3rd year of courtship that they are not compatible? Excuse me. I have a lot of problems with this one. Number one, what kind of courtship are you doing for 3 years? That's a master's degree. In 3 years, you have a master's degree. What kind of courtship is that? That's number one.
2 years of.
Number two, 3 years of courtship. That's number one. If you don't understand what my first statement means, it means that you cannot be doing courtship for 3 years. You are not ready to marry. Or either the guy is not ready to marry you, or you are not ready to marry the guy. However, there is no marrying happening there. You people are just catching cruise and telling yourself what you want to hear. Number two, how do you be in a relationship for years and you don't talk about genotype? What are you talking about? Arsenal versus Man United.
It's critical. It has to be one of the first things, especially.
And the question says a courtship. How can you be in a courtship and you have not? In fact, if you know your genotype, for example, if you are an AS at the first date, first launch, you are asking, bro, are you AA or AS? If the person is an AS, you are telling the person already, you're a very nice looking guy, but we can't even have lunch. We can just be friends, WhatsApp friends from a distance. So that we will not catch anything. We will not catch feelings, we will not catch anything. Do you understand? So genotype is a core issue. Yeah. Because it's core. Yeah, it's a core of your makeup. You can't change it except God changes it for you. And if God is going to change it, you need to be doing some prayers that it changes before you go into a relationship. not afterwards. No, not after the fact. We've seen too many things about ASSS, and we've seen too many things. You just bring in a generation that is already at the. It's like a case of Jabez. It's that you bring in a generation that is at pain from the point of birth to the length of their life. That is unfair. That is wickedness. So it's not I like him, she likes me, or this thing, God will do it. God is not the author of confusion, and he's a good God. So if he's going to do it, let him do it before you guys get into any relationship. Somebody just touched a nerve. Because that question, that the case of genotype is a transgenerational case. It's affecting destinies that will not only affect you, it will affect your parents. Because your parents will suffer the pain of having grandchildren that are always in pain. As parents, you will suffer the pain. And the children, they will be in pain. You are suffering 3 generations because you don't want to ask a simple question. Are you AS or SS or AA? Please, ladies, if the guy does not ask the question, you ask the question. Because there are 2 people in a relationship. How can they go in a relationship for 3 years and nobody has asked the question? I need to see 2 of them. I'll give you a free session in my office. But in that session, both of you will be kneeling down, hands up, and close your eyes while the session is going on. All right, I'm sorry. But please, guys and girls, use sense for relationship now. Use sense. And that's why we're talking about core issues, core values. These are the discussions, the things you have mentioned. Please, I wish you have them written down. Just run over them again, the 5 things you mentioned. That there are core issues that tell you about your identity, and they help you to discover the identity of the next person that can go with you.
Yeah, we talked about values and beliefs.
Values and beliefs.
We talked about
personalities.
We talked about purpose and goals.
We
talked about passion. Yeah, and then we talked about culture and faith.
Yeah. These are all critical issues. Genotype is a critical issue. Because it's not going to change in the period of your lifetime. It's not going to change except God changes it. And like I said, I'm not saying God cannot change it, but please, he's a good God. Let him change it before you go into that relationship. All right, whoever brought us here, I hope you have had sense. All right, let me share something with you. It's called the Singles Empowerment Scheme. It's for singles alone, right? Young man, young woman, not married.
Based in Nigeria.
Do you understand? Singles alone. You can register on that link. We go through a session to look at your business, look at how you're running your business, small scale business. You must be producing something already. Even if it is Zobo or pure water, you must be producing something already. We want to look at what you're producing. We want to see how you are doing the business. And then we want to see how we can help you upscale the business and increase your productivity. Because if you increase your productivity, then we know that you will be able to help more people and help and make your life a little better. Okay? The link to register is right there. It's a short link. You can come back after this show to this place to just look at the link and then register. And our team will reach out to you. The team handling this particular empowerment scheme will reach out to you. This is our Valentine gift to the singles. And we love you.
Yes. And I see my sisters on the show today and Patty. Woohoo! Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think that's the much we can take today. I see some of the comments that have come in towards the end are quite interesting. From we have vexed at genotype. We are sorry, Pastor Kingsley.
Amoranze said, kneel down. So, yes, now some people, that's the way they will learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Jay's Empire says, common sense is not so common. You are spot on. And then Chidozie says, 3 years courtship is divided into phases. Year 1, intro courtship. Year 2, intermediate.
You put this car just not serious.
Year 3, advanced. Oh
right,
my goodness.
we
I
really
think
have
that's
to
a
go.
good place to end it. All right, everyone. See you next week. And like we always
Yeah,
say on this show,
sure.
remember, common
Common
sense
sense
is not so
is not
common.
so common.
Bye.
Bye.
Advanced.
Oh my goodness. Kai.
Let's go. Let's go.